What if I told you FEMA has quietly warned every American to stock these 8 items, or risk being totally unprepared when disaster strikes? And here's why it matters. These aren't your typical canned beans and flashlights. Stick around because what you don't know could leave you hungry, helpless, or worse. Hey everyone, it's David, and after digging through FEMA documents, recent disaster reports, and prepping forums, I found something both shocking and strangely underreported. FEMA isn't just repeating the same old advice, they've updated their warnings. And some of the items you think are enough actually aren't. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 8 critical items FEMA says every American must keep at home, and how one missing item could leave your whole family in danger. Trust me, you do not want to skip this, especially if you think you're already prepared. Before we dive in, drop a comment. Have you noticed weird shortages or price hikes in emergency supplies lately? Let's compare notes. Your experience might help someone else. Item 1. Water and food. Let's start with the absolute basics. Water and food. You might think this one's obvious, but stay with me. There's more to it than just grabbing a few water bottles and cans of beans. FEMA recommends having at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for a minimum of 3 days. That's just the bare minimum. If you live in a hotter state or have kids, pets, or medical needs, you'll need more. Now think about this. 1 gallon per day is for drinking and sanitation. That means brushing your teeth, washing hands, even cleaning small wounds. It adds up fast. Have a family of 4, that's 12 gallons for just 3 days. And that's if everything else is going right. So what's the smart move? Don't just stock water bottles, think bigger. Get a few 5-gallon water jugs or a stackable water storage container. They're cheaper long term and take up less space than you'd think. Bonus tip? Add water purification tablets or a gravity filter like LifeStraw. If water runs out, you'll need to treat rainwater or water from a nearby stream. It's gross but real. Let's talk food. And no, not the kind you microwave. FEMA advises at least a 3-day supply of non-perishable food. But here's the kicker. Choose items you actually like eating. Emergency doesn't mean you have to suffer through bland crackers and peanut butter for days. Think about canned soups, chili, beans, fruits, and veggies. Go for ones that don't need extra ingredients to cook. Got a sweet tooth? Toss in granola bars, trail mix, or instant oatmeal. These are lightweight, don't spoil fast, and need little to no prep. If you have kids, add a few of their favorite snacks. Trust me, goldfish crackers can be a sanity saver in a blackout. Same goes for shelf-stable juice boxes. For babies, don't forget formula, even if you breastfeed. You don't want to gamble in an emergency. Now, here's something people miss all the time. Manual can opener. You can have the best stocked pantry in town, but if all your food's in cans and the power's out, you're stuck. No electric can opener, no food. It's that simple. One more thing, rotate your stock. Keep track of expiration dates. Eat the older stuff and replace it with fresh supplies. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just set a reminder once every 2 to 3 months. Quick budget hack. Buy in bulk when prices drop. Stores like Costco, Sam's Club, and even Dollar Tree sometimes carry emergency-friendly food that won't break the bank. Prices can spike suddenly, especially during storm season. So when you see a deal, grab it. And if you've noticed food prices creeping up lately, or certain items disappearing from shelves, drop a comment below. What's missing in your local store? Item 2, light and communication tools. Imagine this. The power goes out. It's pitch dark, you can't see your hands, you reach for your phone, but it's at 5%. Now what? This is where light and communication tools come in, and FEMA says they're non-negotiable during emergencies. Let's talk about light first. The most important item, a good flashlight. Not that tiny keychain one, and definitely not the flashlight on your dying phone. You need a bright, battery-powered flashlight, ideally LED, for each person in your home. Why LED? It lasts longer, uses less battery, and gives off more light. Don't stop at just one. Keep a flashlight in every major room. Kitchen, bedroom, living room. You don't want to go hunting in the dark. And please don't rely only on candles. They're risky. One knock and you've got a fire. Now here's where most people mess up. They forget about batteries. A flashlight without fresh batteries is just a paperweight. Stock up on AA and AAA batteries. Put them in a sealed plastic bag to keep them dry. Also, check them every few months. Batteries can leak and ruin your gear. Want a backup? Get a headlamp. Hands-free lighting is a game changer during power outages. Cooking, fixing things, or even reading becomes way easier. Here's another smart buy. Solar lanterns or crank-powered lanterns. These don't rely on batteries at all. Let the sun charge them, or just wind the crank when you need light. Some even come with USB ports to charge your phone. How cool is that? Okay, now on to communication. In any disaster, storms, earthquakes, blackouts, your phone may not work. Cell towers can go down, Wi-Fi might be gone, you need a backup. FEMA recommends a battery-powered or hand-crank emergency radio. Look for one that gets no AA weather alerts. These radios keep you updated on severe weather, evacuation orders, or warnings you might not get otherwise. Some even have built-in flashlights and power banks. It's a two-in-one lifesaver. Pro tip, keep your radio and flashlight together in a small blackout kit. That way you're not scrambling in the dark. Also, think about walkie-talkies. If your family gets separated, these help you stay in touch when cell service is down. You can get decent ones for under $30. It's worth it, and don't forget your phone chargers. Grab a few portable power banks and car chargers. If the grid goes down, you'll want options to recharge your phone or tablet. You can even buy solar phone chargers now. They're slow but reliable. Here's something fun. Drop a comment below if you've ever gone through a blackout with no flashlight or charger. What did you use? What failed you? Trust me, the smallest gadget can make the biggest difference when the lights go out. Item 3. First aid and medications. Now let's talk about something people often forget until it's too late. First aid and medications. Power outages, storms, or even evacuation orders don't care if you're sick, injured, or running low on meds. And hospitals, they might be overwhelmed or unreachable. That's why you need your own mini medical setup at home. Start with a basic first aid kit. You can buy one already made or build your own. Either way, make sure it has the essentials: bandages, antiseptic wipes, gauze, adhesive tape, tweezers, scissors, gloves, and pain relievers. It sounds simple, but even a small cut can turn dangerous without proper care. Here's a quick reality check. What if your child gets a fever during a blackout? What if you twist your ankle while checking on storm damage? A $10 first aid kit could save you from a trip to the ER. Don't forget antibiotic ointment, allergy medicine like Benadryl, and if someone in your home has asthma or diabetes, make sure you have extra inhalers or insulin on hand. And this is huge. Prescription medications. FEMA and the Red Cross recommend having at least a 7-day supply of any daily meds you or your family needs. That includes blood pressure meds, antidepressants, heart pills, whatever you rely on to stay healthy. Call your doctor or pharmacist and ask if you can get an extra refill to store in your emergency kit. Most will understand if you explain it's for disaster prep. Store all your meds in a cool, dry place in waterproof containers or Ziploc bags. Keep a written list of what each person takes and when. If you ever need to evacuate, you'll be ready. If you have children, stock kid-friendly versions of pain relievers and fever reducers. And if you've got pets, they might need meds too. Ask your vet for a small emergency stash. It's better to have it and not need it than the other way around. Here's something people rarely think about: glasses or contact lenses. If you wear them, keep a spare pair in your kit. Imagine trying to evacuate or read labels in a dim room without being able to see clearly. And remember, emergencies are stressful. That alone can cause headaches, high blood pressure, or even panic attacks. Having the right meds on hand can make a huge difference in how well you handle the situation. Let me ask you this. Have you ever run out of medicine during a storm or lockdown? What did you do? Drop your story in the comments. Someone else might learn from it. Item 4. Tools and sanitation. When people think about emergency supplies, they usually picture food, water, and flashlights. But let's be honest, if your toilet won't flush and you can't open a can of food, you're going to have a really bad day. This is where tools and sanitation items come in, and they're just as critical as anything else we've talked about. Let's start with tools. First up, the most forgotten hero in emergency prep: manual can opener. It's simple. No power means no electric can opener. If all your food is in cans and you can't open them, well, now you're hungry and frustrated. Keep a manual can opener in your pantry. Better yet, keep 2. One always gets lost when you need it most. Next is a multi-tool or a good set of basic hand tools. Think screwdrivers, pliers, duct tape, zip ties, and a wrench. These aren't just handyman items. FEMA recommends having tools on hand to turn off utilities like gas or water in case of a leak. A wrench could save your home from a serious hazard. A multi-tool is also great because it's compact and can do a little bit of everything: cut rope, open packages, tighten screws, and more. Now let's talk about sanitation, because nobody wants to deal with a hygiene crisis on top of a disaster. If your water supply is cut off or the plumbing goes out, things get gross fast. You need to have moist towelettes or baby wipes, toilet paper, garbage bags, and plastic buckets with tight lids. Why buckets? Because in some cases they become your emergency toilet. Line one with a trash bag, add some kitty litter or absorbent material, and you've got a makeshift bathroom. It's not glamorous, but it works, and it's better than nothing. Don't forget hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes. Germs spread fast when hygiene slips. Even small cuts can get infected. If you've got kids, you know how quickly messes happen. Keep cleaning supplies in your emergency kit. You'll thank yourself later. Now, let's go one level deeper. If you're sheltering in place, you may need to isolate a room or seal off windows and doors. That's where duct tape and plastic sheeting come in. FEMA lists these as essentials. If there's ever a chemical spill or airborne hazard, these supplies can help create a barrier. It sounds like something out of a movie, but it's a real recommendation from government emergency guidelines. And one more thing. Feminine hygiene products. If there are women or girls in your household, make sure you have a stock of pads, tampons, or menstrual cups. These are often forgotten, but absolutely necessary. Emergencies don't pause for your cycle. Also consider disposable gloves and masks. They came in handy during COVID and they still matter for things like cleaning, wound care, or any situation where sanitation is critical. Have you ever had to go without running water for more than a day? How did you manage sanitation? Drop a comment and share your experience. You might help someone build a better kit. Item 5, important documents and kit. Let's shift gears for a second. In an emergency, you might be thinking about food, flashlights, and staying warm. But what happens if you have to leave your home fast or prove your identity at a shelter? This is where important documents and cash become life-saving tools, not just paperwork. Imagine you're forced to evacuate. You grab your bag and leave. Now you're at a hotel, shelter, or even crossing state lines. Someone asks for ID, insurance, or proof of address, and it's all sitting back home in a drawer. Not good. FEMA recommends keeping copies of essential documents in a waterproof, portable container. This can be a fireproof document bag, a sealed plastic envelope, or even a Ziploc bag in a small safe. The point is, keep it accessible, dry, and ready to grab. Here's a quick checklist of what to include. Government-issued IDs for all family members, birth certificates and social security cards, insurance policies, home, auto, health, medical records and prescriptions, bank account and credit card info, property deeds or rental agreements, emergency contacts, legal documents like wills, custody papers, or power of attorney. Make physical copies and also store digital backups on a USB drive or encrypted cloud service, but don't count on internet access being available. That's why the paper version matters. Also, keep a recent family photo with your documents. If you ever get separated from your loved ones, that photo can help authorities or volunteers identify and reunite you. It sounds dramatic, but it happens more than you think, especially during evacuations or large-scale disasters. Now let's talk cash. In today's world, we rely on cards, apps, and online banking. But during a crisis, ATMs might not work, credit card systems can crash, internet might be down, you need to have physical cash on hand. Keep small bills, 1 nos, 5 ses, 10 tos. Stores may not be able to make change, and you don't want to hand over a $100 bill for a loaf of bread. How much should you keep? It depends on your budget, but aim for at least $100 to $300 in cash, hidden somewhere secure but easy to access. Some people also keep a small stash of coins. If vending machines or laundromats are the only option, you'll be glad you have them. If you need to evacuate quickly, having cash can help you get gas, buy food, or pay for a last-minute motel room. No questions asked. One more tip, keep a notebook in your emergency bag. Write down passwords, account numbers, and emergency instructions. If your phone dies and you can't log into your apps, a simple notebook can make all the difference. Item 6. Warmth and comfort. Let's talk about something that doesn't sound like a big deal, being cold, but in an emergency, especially without power or heating, it can become a real threat. And it doesn't just mean being uncomfortable. Cold can affect your health, your mood, and your ability to think clearly. That's why FEMA recommends having items on hand to stay warm and comfortable, even if the temperature drops suddenly. Start with the basics. Blankets, not just your regular living room throw. Stock up on warm, heavy-duty blankets for every person in your home. If space is tight, go with emergency thermal blankets, the kind made from Mylar. They're super compact, trap body heat, and can literally save your life in freezing temperatures. Next up, extra clothes. You might not think you need them, but if the power's out and your clothes are wet from rain, sweat, or snow, you'll want to change. Keep at least one full set of clothes for each person. Think layers, shirts, hoodies, sweatpants, socks, and warm jackets. And don't forget sturdy shoes. If you ever need to leave your home on foot, flip-flops or worn-out slippers won't cut it. You need shoes that can handle mud, glass, or debris. Now let's be real. Emergencies are scary, especially for kids. And when you're cold, tired, and stressed out, things feel 10 times worse. So comfort isn't just physical, it's emotional too. Pack a few comfort items. For adults, maybe it's a pack of gum, a book, or a warm hoodie that makes you feel safe. For kids, it could be a stuffed animal, a favorite snack, or a small toy, something familiar that helps calm their nerves when everything around them feels chaotic. Also think about heat sources. If it's winter and there's no electricity, your heating system won't work, keep hand warmers and body warmers in your emergency kit. They're cheap, they last years, and they heat up instantly once opened. Some people also keep propane heaters, but only if they're rated for indoor use and have proper ventilation. Safety first. Another great item, sleeping bags. Not just camping gear. They're warm, compact, and easy to store. Some are made for freezing temps. If you ever need to sleep in your car, garage, or a public shelter, you'll be glad you packed one. Here's something else, hats and gloves. You lose a ton of heat through your head and hands. Having a warm hat and gloves on standby can make a huge difference, especially if you're stuck outside for any reason. And if you've ever lost power during a snowstorm or had to sleep in a freezing house, you know how fast the cold creeps in. Drop a comment. What did you use to stay warm? Was it enough? Let's help each other prepare smarter. Item 7, extras for pets and kids. When disaster hits, it's already stressful enough. But if you've got kids or pets in the house, that stress doubles fast. Most emergency checklists focus on adults, food, water, flashlights, all the basics. But if you forget to plan for the smallest and furriest family members, it can lead to big problems. Let's start with pets. Your dog or cat depends on you, especially during a crisis. If stores are closed or you're stuck inside for days, you need to have what they need, just like you do for yourself. At the very least, you should store a 3 to 5 day supply of pet food, dry or canned, water for your pet, separate from your own supply, collar with ID tags, and a leash. Medications or special care items, waste bags, a litter box, or pee pads, depending on your animal. If you need to leave your home, make sure you have a pet carrier or crate. Many shelters won't accept pets unless they're contained. Also include a small blanket or toy that smells like home. It helps keep animals calm when everything around them is strange. Now, let's talk about kids, because if you've ever had a toddler in a store without snacks, you already know the chaos that can happen in seconds. For babies and toddlers, your emergency kit should include diapers, more than you think you'll need, wipes, baby formula or powdered milk bottles and sippy cups, pacifiers or teething toys, a change of clothes, blankets. Even if you breastfeed, having backup formula is smart. In a crisis, stress can mess with your body and access to clean water may be limited. Better to have it just in case. For older kids, think about both their physical needs and emotional support. Pack. Ashoki. Snacks they recognize and enjoy. Favorite toys, books, or games, coloring books and crayons. A flashlight just for them. They'll love the responsibility and it helps with fear at night. Earplugs or headphones. Shelters can get loud and scary. A small comfort item goes a long way. A stuffed animal, a soft blanket, even a photo of your family, something they can hold when things feel out of control. Also, write down their routines. In an emergency, things get chaotic, and keeping parts of their daily schedule, like nap time or snack time, can help kids feel secure. It gives them a sense of normal, even when nothing else feels normal. Don't forget children's medications, especially allergy meds, asthma inhalers, or anything they take daily. And make sure they're in date. One more thing, child identification cards. Write down your child's name, age, photo, allergies, and emergency contacts. Put it in their backpack or pocket. If you're ever separated, this info can help reunite you faster. And if you've ever been through a power outage or emergency with kids or pets, you know how fast things can spiral. Drop a comment and share what helped you keep your little ones calm or what you wish you had. Item 8. Battery backup and phone chargers. Let's be honest, what's the first thing you reach for when something goes wrong? Your phone. We all do it. We check for news, call loved ones, or just try to calm ourselves by scrolling. But during a disaster, your phone becomes way more than a distraction. It's your lifeline. The problem is, phones die fast, especially when the power is out and you're constantly refreshing for updates. That's why FEMA and emergency experts stress the importance of battery backups and phone chargers, because without power, your phone turns into a useless block of plastic. Let's start with the most important item, portable power banks. You need at least one, fully charged, stored in your emergency kit. Get one with high capacity, around 10,000 to 20,000 mAh, so it can charge your phone 2 to 4 times before it needs a recharge. Even better, get 2 power banks and rotate them, use one regularly, and keep the other fully charged at all times. That way, you're never caught off guard. If you have a bigger family or multiple devices, you may want a power station, a portable battery that can power small appliances, radios, tablets, and more. These are more expensive, but they're incredibly useful in long-term outages. Now let's talk about chargers. Keep a few extra charging cables in your kit. Cheap ones tend to break, and you don't want to rely on just one. Also, grab a car charger. If you have gas in the tank, your car can become a backup power source. Start it up, plug your phone in, and boom, you're back in business. Solar chargers are another smart option. They're slow, but they work, and they don't need gas or electricity, just sunlight. Lay it outside for a few hours and you've got enough juice for a call or text. Here's a lesser known trick. If you're in a pinch and near a laptop, you can charge your phone from the laptop's battery, even if the Wi-Fi is down. It won't be fast, but it helps. And remember, keep your phone on low power mode during emergencies, turn off background apps, lower the brightness. Airplane mode is your friend when signal is weak. Every little bit helps stretch the battery life. Also consider downloading some offline apps ahead of time. Things like maps, first aid guides, or survival checklists. That way, even if the internet goes down, you still have the info you need. Now, let's be real. How many of us have said, I'll charge it later, and then ended up with 4% battery when we actually needed it? Drop a comment if that's ever happened to you. Or better yet, tell us what backup gear you already have, or wish you had when the lights went out. So now you've seen all 8 critical items FEMA says every home should have. And here's the big takeaway. Emergencies don't wait until you're ready. You might not get a warning, no time to run to the store, no time to Google what to pack. That's why prepping today means peace of mind tomorrow. And you don't have to be a doomsday prepper to take this seriously. Start small, one item at a time. Build your kit based on your family's real needs, food you'll eat, meds you use, things that bring you warmth and comfort when the world outside feels uncertain. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one item you have in your emergency stash that's not on most lists? Or what have you struggled to find lately? Food shortages, price hikes? Let us know in the comments. Someone else might be going through the same thing. And hey, if this video helped you feel a little more prepared, or even just gave you a few ideas to get started, hit that like button so YouTube knows it's worth sharing. Subscribe if you want more practical, real-life prepping tips without the fear, the hype, or the crazy price tags. We break things down step by step with new videos every week to help you stay ready and stay calm. Thanks for watching. And remember, when you stay ready, you never have to get ready.